I don't care what happened. They're my family forever, and you're my cousin now. It is in extremely bad taste for an American to die, not to mention inconsiderate to loved ones and friends. The Americans try to pretend that death doesn't happen at all, and certainly not to their own personal selves. When someone does die, they don't know what to say and try to put the experience behind them as soon as possible. Mentioning death in polite society is considered morbid unless it is in the context of a lurid murder or major disaster. Even a rabbit doesn't do death, it has a mortification situation. Getting sick is almost as bad taste as dying and significantly more expensive since there is no national health care. When Americans ask, "How are you?" they already know the answer. "I'm good. And you?" That is a passage from the Xenophobe's Guide to the Americans, a frank and amusing look at what makes the Americans American. Now, I just finished this book recently. It's a small book, but it is an incredible read. Honestly, it is truly something else. And I wanted to read a passage from this and also a few more, not today, but over time I'll continue to read more passages that are pertinent and exciting. I bring this one up today because we lost a good one today by the name of Ivana Trump. We lost an extraordinary woman, the birthing person of one of the most ridiculous, psychopathic, and smoking hot women in politics, being Ivanka Trump, and also two of the ugliest fucking weirdos that I personally have ever seen. Two ugly, sad weirdos and one super hot problem. I too am a super hot problem. Super hot problems are good to have, but they are not without their challenges. Isn't that right? Rest in peace, Ivana Trump, for really doing it for your family and for values and for being the role model mother and public figure that we crave and deserve. I had a song prepared. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this book, A Xenophobe's Guide to the Americans, is absolutely fantastic because it's written by a German lady, translated, of course. This person, what is her name? They kind of do a crazy job at hiding who wrote it. Stephanie Fowl. This is a part of a larger guide of xenophobe guides for all different countries, basically to give you an inside look at their culture and what life is like, what to expect when you're traveling to these places. And it's just kind of like a whole load of bullshit. It's very funny. It's very interesting to see what non-Americans think of America. Most of the time they're wrong. And of course, it includes all of the normal, what would you call it, stereotypes, I suppose, of Americans and American life about how we're gaudy and ridiculous. And we work too hard, but also not hard enough. We're bad at having families. What else do we have here? That we're perpetual teenagers, that we're sex obsessed, which coming from a European is a little funny, and how our sense of humor is bad compared to other countries. It's fun to read nonsense. I do a lot of reading nonsense. I dipped my toe in Dianetics from time to time. I just bought a book called Racism Without Racists, which I am fascinated to see how that pans out. Otherwise, I have a couple of other things too. I'll keep pulling passages that are relevant, almost like your daily, or I guess weekly, biblical fix in the Church of Lauren LaRoe, in the synagogue of the Dreamhouse, as it were. I'm going to put this book down now and officially start the show. I'm a little frizzy right now, and I'm also not in my bathtub. Why? Because I just took a shower. That's why I'm frizzy, and that's why I'm not doing the show in the bathtub, because the tub is wet, and I don't want to dry it, and it's humid in there, and I don't want to be in there. I don't have a bathroom fan. I just recently installed a really large fan in my bathroom that kind of just blows air down and not really out, figuring that out as we go along. But I'm, slowly trying to figure out how it works being an apartment renter, living alone, which I probably shouldn't say, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Just kind of working out the kinks in every facet of life. Now, also, before we go any further, I would like to make a quick shout out to my grandmother, my Grammy. Hello, Grammy. She found my podcast and has been an enthusiastic listener since the first episode. Now, I didn't want her or anyone else in my family to see my Tubcast, the half episode that I published last week, kind of trying out this format with this audio non-setup. I have this, obviously, my Apple headphones. I'm using them as my microphone, holding it away from my face. That's a hack for you guys, in case you need to record something without just like the speakers attached to your phone. It's a good look, but I definitely went in the last episode about drugs and sex and fucking and sorry. I just want to say sorry to my family. Just know that the more I get used to doing this, especially alone, with no studio or producers or what have you, the more unhinged things are going to get, all in the name of honesty and transparency and just kind of being as authentic as possible, because there's really no point in doing any of this if I'm not going to be honest. And the drug thing is definitely important to talk about, because I was once led down a road where it became really easy for me to kind of start spiraling in ways that you think are distant and difficult. A lot of people believe that, when you're a kid, you're like, I would never snort anything. That's disgusting. And it is disgusting. But then you get involved with people who do not believe it is disgusting. And from there, you kind of adopt the habit and start spending all of your money on drugs. And I did that, and I no longer do that. Very happy that I'm what you would call a California sober, which I think is like drinking sometimes and smoking weed sometimes. Speaking of drinking, I have a drink here. My recent favorite of Dr. Pepper cream soda, zero sugar, and Maker's Mark, which is really good. And that is all I need. Drugs are bad. But I also don't blame you if you try them because, you're also told that like weed makes you an idiot, completely unable to function in society. Your grades get bad, and it's a gateway drug, and to an extent that is all kind of true, but also wildly misleading. Especially everything you hear about psychedelics and stuff. Like bad psychedelics will always be bad for you. They will give you a bad trip. But I am a mushroom advocate. Mushrooms are a vitamin, and everyone should have a psychedelic experience at some point because they're valuable, and we really don't get to see who we truly are until we do these things sometimes. And a lot of people will claim that you can meditate or do some kind of retreat or pray or keep a diary or something. And those things are also valuable tools in the pursuit of uncovering parts of your subconscious. However, there are also drugs that exist that are, dare I say, relatively safe to do. I've never done acid, but again, I think mushrooms are great. And if you get clean, good mushrooms, the things that mushrooms have done for my depression, my anxiety, my self-image are truly unreal. Now, on the side of self-image, you shouldn't take a bunch of mushrooms and look in the mirror, because then you will not understand or recognize who you are. The face shape, proportions will just kind of always be changing in front of you, and you will get very scared, and you might also throw up. And that is not ideal. But will you die? Probably not. I am not a doctor, nor am I a drug specialist, nor should I be giving anybody advice of any kind, really. But if you care, you can always reach out to me and ask me about my experiences. I will get into detail with you. These things are worth knowing and understanding. Now, cocaine is bad. It is almost never cocaine, especially when you're in America. It's laced with baby laxatives and Chinese meth and fentanyl, of course, and things that are really bad for you. And I think that, I don't know, there was like that either Wall Street Journal or Washington Post article, one of the W's, that just came out with like that crack cocaine thing. I thought that was not real or a joke or published by someone who was maybe imminently quitting as kind of like a fuck you, I'm out of here, clean up my mess kind of situation. But I think that like soon we're going to learn that most drugs, of course, except heroin, because heroin is really just, there are no redeeming qualities to heroin. Like, heroin just will ruin your life every time. It's really, really hard to recover. One of my best friends in the world died of a heroin overdose in 2017. And I'm still feeling the effects of that. You would think that after your best friend dies that you wouldn't do drugs. And it turns out that you may, if you get into the wrong circumstances with the wrong people. And what they say about being with the right and wrong people, these are true things. I've always been of the opinion where I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I'm smart. If there are things going on that are unkosher, I will have the mental wherewithal and fortitude and I don't know, peer pressure resistance to resist peer pressure, or to just recognize that something is bad and not a good idea. But you don't. Not in the heat of the moment, not when everyone else is having fun around you. So consider things like that. And I'm sorry to my grandmother. I'm sorry that you had to hear that part of my past, that part of my life. It is over. Rest assured, I take drug tests all the time just to prove that I am telling the truth and that I am serious about not being a bag of shit. Very important not to be a bag of shit when you can. So apologies for that. But when I tell you not to watch an episode, guys, and by guys, I mean my family, just don't do it. It's for your benefit. It really, I mean, I'm just being honest here, and this is my place to do my talking, and you kind of have to live with all of that. Now, let's get to the cream, the center, the nougat of the episode. No apologies, no obituaries, just all really good stuff. This time last year, I found my first gray hair. And when I did, I noticed it in the mirror, and I didn't believe my eyes at first. And I looked closer. I noticed that it, in fact, was a real gray hair. As a 25-year-old woman, I buckled in the knees and I got upset. I was wondering who I've wronged in this life to start going gray so early. I had a very negative attitude about that. I was mad. I was angry. I plucked it out when I got home. And when I plucked it out, something really interesting happened. I didn't want to get rid of it. There was something about it that was exciting and potentially meaningful, or maybe, a message of some kind. I believe in messages and divine, bullshit. I took the gray hair and I saved it in a plastic bag. And I wrote on it. I said, my first gray hair. And I pinned it to the wall in the apartment that I was living at the time to remind myself that life is finite, that time is passing, that I might feel and, for all intents and purposes, be young. But time is flying. Days are going by. Things are changing. And I'm the youngest I will ever be right now. I have the most energy that I'll ever have right now. And so I put that hair in the bag and pinned it on my wall and used it as a reminder to work harder and to be in the moment and stay inspired and stay energetic and not get lazy, because we all get a little lazy and a little overwhelmed sometimes. And I found that bag with the gray hair. Now, I moved 6 times last year, so I've been losing things. I've been just like, this is the longest I've been in one place since I lived at home with my parents 2 years ago or something. I lived at my friend's house for 4 months, and then in my apartment with my ex for 4 months. And then when I left that apartment, on which I am still part of the lease, because we signed a 2-year lease, don't do that when you're in a new relationship. I moved in with my friends, who took me in graciously after I had to leave that situation. And then I moved in with my parents again for a second because I felt bad about staying with my friends for 100 days. And I had to have surgery, which I'll get into in detail later, because that was a really long, multi-year journey in which I was fucked repeatedly with a laser gun in order to make pain go away. And by fucked, I mean that there was a light dildo that I had to just take every Tuesday for a while because I have crazy problems. Spoiler alert, it didn't help. I eventually needed an explorative surgery. During that time, I lived with my parents, and then I moved in with my boyfriend for a month in the beginning of our relationship, which wound up being fucking dazzling and a really great time and kind of solidified how great we are for each other. And I don't regret that at all, but it was definitely scary and just yet another instance of moving. And then I finally moved here to my place alone, which, as you can see, is in Miami. Covered a lot there just then, trying to figure out where to go from there. I guess basically I've been here for 6 months and I love it. I love being alone. I love working from home, being alone, doing whatever I want, being able to stumble in drunk if I need to and not worry about waking anybody up or cooking and just making a mess and cleaning it up when I feel like it or have the time. These things are incredible, and I'm so fucking grateful to be here, to be doing this, to be self-sufficient enough to survive. That being said, I am in so much debt, I want to kill myself. Not really, Grandma. Not going to die, not going to hurt myself, but am I in a ton of debt? Yes. Why? Because I shop too much. When I broke up with my ex, I started shopping and partying and drinking and doing, crazy dinners, and I would pay the bill and I would buy shots for everyone I could see, and bought furniture for this place and just kind of lived above my means for a little too long. Now, I'm not in like that much debt, but in my life, it has been really, really, really important to me to never be in debt, to never owe anybody anything for any reason ever. I don't want anyone to think that they are owed something from me, because that's a powerful position for them to be in, and a subordinate and inferior position for me to be in. And I don't like being made to feel inferior, ever. So I kind of racked up a little bit of credit card debt, and I'm almost done chipping away at it. I put myself on like a better budget plan a couple of months ago, and the week that I did that, I was like, oh my God, I've been doing so well at saving money that I owe myself a present. What did I do? I bought a really long hat. Now, have you heard of a long hat? Have you seen a long hat? Because you think that something like a long hat wouldn't be so tempting, in a way that would ruin your budget plan, or would be tempting enough to even spend any amount of money on it. I don't even wear hats, okay? But what I did was I bought this really long hat. What is a long hat? It's a hat with a brim that's really, really long. And when I saw it, it made me laugh really, really hard. And if something makes me laugh that hard, you have to know that I'm in. I laughed so hard the entire time I was plugging in my credit card information, and I had almost no guilt at all. And then after I bought it, I kind of forgot that I did that. And it's been 4 months, and I haven't received my long hat. It was a pre-order, but I feel like 4 months is a little long to wait, even if the long wait is for a long hat. So I'm trying to track that, and it's kind of like a pride thing at this point, because I'm like, well, I bought it, and I shouldn't have. Now I could cancel the order and pocket the $50 that I spent on the long hat, which would be better for my situation almost globally. It would be better if I just canceled the long hat. But I won't do that because they owe me a long hat. And I also want to know what it's like to wear a long hat in public, in private. What are the types of things I can clip onto it? Maybe give myself some privacy during the day and hide out a little bit. Maybe it's really heavy. If it's heavy, oh boy, I'm going to laugh even harder. Because if a hat was specifically engineered to be uncomfortable and nearly impossible to wear, that's the shit that I really appreciate. That's like 100% what I stand for. Do stupid shit that people will buy. That's like the best. That's the best thing ever to me. So I hope I get my long hat. But like as the days go by, I kind of feel like I've been swindled, and I would be more worried if I had never seen anyone get the long hat. Like if other people have gotten their order. And damn, it looks really good. I mean, this hat, it's something else. It's long, it's strong, and it's where I belong, to be completely honest. But I don't know. I also don't remember where I ordered it from, and I haven't seen anything posted by the creator who sells them. Because I figured like maybe one of these days like I'll see like a shipping update or like some kind of production update from this lady, because it's, of course I bought it on Instagram. The Instagram algorithm is flawless. I buy everything I own from Instagram. Their shopping feature is just, it's too smart. It's too intelligent. Except, here's a good update. The Uber story, right? So we all know that I've been absolutely, fingered down by Uber. They just pinned me down and they just took it all, didn't they? They haven't reached out at all. I am still technically an employee of Uber, and every time I contact them with questions, they ignore me, or they claim that they don't have the bandwidth to support my requests, and I kind of feel like this is just a big fucking joke to them, right? But we all know that. We've heard the story. I'm not going to completely go there again. But the algorithm on Instagram is smart enough that they know that I have some issue with Uber. And they honestly think that Uber raped me. And did they? In a way, I suppose. But I keep getting Instagram ads while I'm flipping about. And they're like, did you get sexually assaulted by an Uber driver? You're entitled to compensation. And I'm like, close, but no cigar. That's not really what happened here, thankfully. And I guess it never will if I'm perpetually banned from Uber for a crime I did not commit. Where's my Netflix documentary? You got The Staircase. It's like, what about my $3,000 of chicken nuggets and 7 to 8 months of pain? What about that, Uber? I don't know. The Instagram algorithm is super smart, but I guess not smart enough. And also, I know that when you screenshot things, it signals something to Instagram that basically tells the algorithm that you're interested in that kind of content. And it tries to show you more of that. So I just keep getting like class action lawsuit propaganda against Uber, which is funny. And I love knowing that they are failing, of course. But, not close. It's close, but it's not enough. I can't claim that they did the bad thing. They just took all my money. And don't believe me. Which, if you know anything about Uber and their history of, their CEOs and the goings on within the company, you know that they're not really the best. Can't really trust them a whole lot. Sip of drink. Oh man, is that refreshing. Something about Maker's Mark tastes like banana to me. And I know I'm like a dumb slut, but you know, I can't deny it. I can't deny what I feel and what I taste. Okay? And don't make me either. Also, people who are, subscribing to me and engaging with my content are my ex's parents. And I've had a lot of exes. I have, I think maybe, I'm not going to count them, but more than 10 boyfriends and families that I've met over the years. And I'm sorry. I know this is not what any ex wants to hear. But if we break up and I've met your family, I don't care what happened. They're my family forever, and you're my cousin now. Doesn't matter how many times we fucked. You're my cousin now. I don't make the rules. I'm out here posting my shit, going about my day, putting out polls, putting out, just sizzling heat. And your mom watches every story that I've ever had. And we haven't dated in 10 years. You're my cousin now. And that's fine. But just know that you're in my family forever. And you'll probably see me at all of your other cousins' weddings. And if your uncle passes away, I'm coming to the funeral because he's my uncle too. And you're my cousin. So I always think it's funny. I mean, what prompts an ex's, I'm only really on bad terms with 4 of them. Excuse me. 4 of them. And that's proportionately not bad. I like the attention, obviously. I love attention in general. It's kind of the driving force behind everything I do is to get attention. I'm talking to you right now in the corner of my empty apartment because I like attention. So it's funny when I see it, but also, why are you doing it? You don't want to see what I'm posting. Now, I blocked pretty much all of my family from my story on Instagram, and I don't need them to see me naked or telling dirty jokes or doing hate crimes. I'm just kidding, but doing the things that are just what I do. It's really not for everybody. It's a little upsetting. I had to block my mom 2 years ago because everything I posted, she'd be like, delete that. And I'm like, I can't, Mom. This is me. This is who I am. You can't stop me. I fucking dare you to try. But sometimes I'll get drunk and I'll see that one of my ex's parents fucking replied or watched my story rather and didn't really engage, but they're always lurking, and I'll DM them and I'll be like, oh my God, how are you? And then they don't respond, and it's bitch, you're watching me. I don't even follow you. It would be one thing if we followed each other, but we don't. You just follow me, and your son has a new girlfriend now. And she's, clearly not better than me, but, so I get it. Maybe it's coming from a place of you miss me and you miss the sizzling heat. Actually, I get it now. Sorry, guys. It took me a while. I had to say it out loud for it to make sense, but I get it now. If I broke up with your son and he doesn't talk to me, you want to come to my profile and see all of my sizzling heat because you miss the excitement, you miss the jazz, you miss the perks of being the mother of someone who is, I guess, dong in that ass. And that's, I guess that's your right. My profile is public, so that's fine. Honestly, guys, I gotta be so real with you. I'm having the fucking time of my life. It's fabulous being me right now, and it's fabulous being me all the time. I'm an excessively lucky person, and the gratitude that I feel penetrates, or permeates rather. I need to stop talking stupid. Hold on. It permeates everything I do. I am excessively grateful for all of the gifts and all of the losses and, you know, trouble in my life. I think that the blessing is in the lesson. And sure, that sounds stupid, but it's really not. I'm so lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to have the family that I have. I'm lucky to make the money that I make. I'm lucky to be able to talk to you guys and for you to actually give a shit and listen. I mean, the people, I mean, Jesus Christ, the amount of people who have called me on the phone, like speaking to me, which, you know, bold move. Just kidding. I love the calls. The amount of people who call me and compliment the podcast, but also talk about how the specific things that I'm talking about are touching them in ways that they couldn't have imagined a podcast ever, making them feel like it. That's invaluable to me. That's the reason that I do it. It's absolutely phenomenal to hear that kind of stuff. And thank you if you are one of the people who've done that. But truly, this is like, I'm having the time of my life, and for real. I really, 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 really do. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful, and I love you guys so, so much. And I've lost a lot of friends in the past year or so, due to various reasons, good and bad. But, you know, I've also met some of the greatest people that I've ever known, and kind of feel like I was able to replace energy with energy, which rocks. It's fucking real nice to be able to do that. And, you know, I was talking last episode about Natalie, and she's the fucking best. She's so fucking cool. She works so hard. I am proud to know her and be able to work with her in some capacity. And, you know, we're at the beginning of our careers right now, and it's super cool when you get to meet people who are also at the beginning of the career, and just kind of like thrive together and build this foundation of trust and hardworking behavior and just hope that, I mean, not hope because I don't hope, I have hope, but it's more than hope because I will not quit until I accomplish the things that I accomplish. So, you know, I'm not banking on anything happening because of the grace of God. I'm actively making all of these things a reality every day. But to be able to know and meet Natalie and, you know, finally have a woman in comedy who I can really trust and relate to, it's awesome. It's the best feeling in the world. And I can't believe that I get to wake up every day and keep doing it with cool people. I can't believe that I get to wake up every day and fuck cool people. I'm just kidding. But, I have to stop saying I'm just kidding. That's the problem. When people in your family start watching your shit, you feel like you have this obligation to apologize for all of the stupid and, you know, crazy shit that you say. But they're jokes, people. All right. It's the G Fuel talking. And in addition to Natalie, I also have met my creative soulmate, really, Tom Monda. He is the number one greatest asset to the fireworks of my brain. And, you know, this is it's just such an incredibly special, lucky, and rare thing to be able to meet somebody who you just click with and with whom you can truly make both of your dreams come true by just being yourselves. Like, he is everything that I need, and I think that I am everything that he needs. Like, we do all this cool work respectively, you know, in our own projects, and we kind of are each other's missing piece in the greater scheme of, and strategy of work that we want to produce. And that is really the reason why I feel like I'm on top of the world. Because, I mean, creative people, if you're listening to this and you're creative but you feel like burnt out, you know, it's usually because you don't have any of the help. Like, you have all these huge ideas and you want to work hard and make those things happen, but sometimes it feels impossible to ever touch that, or to get it done, or to even get started. And with Tom, it's like we have this common goal and this vision that is just coming together, like in the most serendipitous, dare I say, effortless, but, you know, it's not entirely accurate, because there's an incredible amount of effort coming from both of us to do this project that we started, which I can't wait to tell you guys about that, and to get that advertised and to get people psyched. But I don't know, it's so rare. We are so lucky. And we had the most magical conversation. My boyfriend was here. We were just kind of talking about politics and the way that the world works, or the way that we think that the world works, or the way that we think things should work. And, you know, just the type of stuff that, you know, it's a really energizing conversation that you have with, I mean, when you find somebody who actually agrees with you and celebrates you, and just kind of, you're just on the same page about the world. It's so rare. And I mean, even if we didn't agree about these things, I would still respect him, and I know that he feels the same way. It's just so cool to be able to have conversations about stuff that people really don't talk about publicly, coming from a place of curiosity and honesty, which I feel like, you know, it's kind of become a sin over time to be curious, and that is a sin in and of itself, truly, right? You're not allowed to have any kind of public discourse, disagreement, you know, any kind of conversation that might be problematic. And we weren't really going there, but, you know, people are afraid to talk to each other. And I say that to my boyfriend all the time, that, like, so many of the problems that we're all encountering are just a product of everyone's hard, stubborn, you know, stances, these hard lines that people are taking on issues that, you know, are nuanced and have gray area. And just, I don't know, there's room for disagreement. There's room for honesty and discussion just in general. We can do that without being afraid, without, you know, like being judged. It's okay to be judged. We're all afraid of being judged. We're afraid of not belonging to the team that everyone thinks that we belong to. And I'm a, you know, left of center person. I'm not even, you know, I'm not the edgelord that people make me out to be sometimes. But even being categorized or accused of of being radical in any way or having some kind of differing opinion. Like I was telling Tom that there's this guy who thinks that we should have like a new democratically, I guess, created modern monarchy, and how that would fix things, and how we can have like some level of democracy, but like overall there would be kind of this like one reigning family that would have a bloodline of rulers. And it sounds kind of ridiculous. I mean, it is ridiculous, but also it's interesting to hear ideas that are different. It's interesting to just hear someone like that out and say, okay, so we need a king? Like, you're saying that in 2022, we need a king. Okay, I'm listening. I'm on board, I mean, like, I'm on board with the discussion. I don't really know what the implications of a new monarchy would be. I presume bad, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm like a huge idiot. I'm actually, like, I'm not a huge idiot. I'm just kind of like a really tiny, sexy, like, really like awesome, like attractive idiot. But regardless, it's just nonsense at this point. And I'm sorry that this episode is a little more serious than they usually are. This is kind of a product of me being alone and really letting myself go to places in this monologue that I guess I wouldn't feel like I could if I was in front of other people, because my instinct when I'm in front of other people is to just make them laugh the entire time, or at least most of the time. But today I wanted to talk about a lot and express my gratitude and, talk about how all you bitches is my sons and, things of that nature. And regarding the schedule of this podcast going forward, I'm going to do it every Tuesday or Thursday. So if you don't see an episode on a Thursday, it's coming on a Tuesday. If you don't see it on a Tuesday, it's coming on a Thursday. And also, for the record, I am not slurring my words because I'm drunk. I haven't even had 10% of this drink yet, which is it's just so delicious. I love bourbon, dude. Goddamn. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I'm not slurring my words because I am drunk. I'm slurring or half lisping. I mean, I kind of have like a stupid little half lisp anyway, but all of that is happening because I got my lip filler dissolved, and now my lips are kind of hanging in front of my teeth in a way that makes me sound genetically deformed, and I might be, but the mouth is a curious area of the face, and I love having big lips. I love doing my makeup. I love experimenting with things, and the lip filler chapter of my life, I don't think that it is yet over. But I was told by the filler madam, nurse, lady, that nice lady, she said that I've done the filler so many times that I need to dissolve it now, or else it's going to start migrating into the rest of my face and causing ugly and foreign little bumps. Now, that is not something that I am interested in at all. I don't want to be lumpy in any way if I can help it. I've been doing a lot to help the lump factor of my body, working out a lot, playing a lot of tennis, eating low sugar, just kind of cleaning things up. I said recently that the acquisition of these plants on my balcony was one of the best things that have happened to me in recent history, because it reminded me that I am a living organism too, and I'm watering these plants every day, and I should be fucking watering myself every day. I mean, it's ridiculous. I am in charge of my health and my happiness and my safety and the quality of life that I have. So if I feel like shit, it's due to something that I am doing to myself. And I've made a really, really nice chunk of effort to push things, move the needle, and to just achieve overall wellness. And damn, dude, I feel really good. And I mean, the no sugar thing isn't for everybody. I think that, like, I have some kind of hormonal problem. I mean, I do have a hormonal problem. I have PMDD, which I've described in earlier episodes. It's kind of just this, I was sexually assaulted a few years back, and after that, I developed this biological response where instead of feeling like shit for a week before my period, I feel like shit for 2 weeks, and I gain double the water weight that people normally gain. I have mood swings that are more dramatic and traumatizing. It's harder for me to sleep. My appetite is crazy. When my period starts, all of that goes away and the problems end, and I become like a regular person again. And that's a reason why I've tried and have been, recently taking again Prozac, because it really changed my life. It made everything better again, which is kind of nuts if you think about it. But I don't know. You got to eat in the way that makes you feel good. It's so fucking important. And of course, I cheat every once in a while. I went to the Cheesecake Factory last Friday and went in. And the cool thing is that when you're just generally taking care of yourself, you can do things like that without really experiencing crazy consequences and guilt and weight gain. And, I said consequences, and then I broke down the consequences: wasting your time, filling space, whatever. Anyway, take care of yourself. If I can do it, you can too. Because there are days that I can't get out of bed. And things are hard. Just because I'm super hot and cool doesn't mean that I don't have the capacity to get depressed or to have a bad time or to freak the fuck out. I'm not flipping furniture anymore. I'm not flipping furniture anymore, but I have my big ups and downs. Big ups and downs, man. And that's normal. Ups and downs are normal. Everyone has their own mental health struggle. I certainly struggle. It's nothing but a struggle, and it's like a constant balancing act of, the activities that are good for me that I need to do and that I need to maintain and keep up with, and the activities that I am not supposed to do, but won't kill me or the people around me. And striking that balance is important, because you need to work hard and play hard in order to be like maximally happy. I believe that 1,000%. I am a work hard, play hard type of bitch. It is crucial to feel like you're getting away with something sometimes. I'm going to end the episode now, unfortunately. I'm still doing this on my phone, so sometimes when you film, and you don't have any more room in your phone, the video that you were recording for 53 minutes just disappears, and they just say, we forgot how to save it, and then you don't have it anymore. So in order to prevent that from happening, I am going to sign off now. Now, I promise that the next episode will be funnier, it'll be juicier, it'll be a better time. I have plans for you. I have plans for this. Things that I really want to get into, a mini series, a little watch along, guests that are worth your time. Like my sister was great. She's a good first guest. I don't want to do guests all the time, but I want to do it maybe once a month. So I have the next guest planned for either the next episode or the episode after that, but he's down, and probably get back in that tub. And, as always, I love you very, very much. I wish I could just give you all the biggest, fattest, wettest kiss that you have ever done dream of. And, you know, I'm very grateful, again, to have you with me, listening to me, doing this. It's really important to me, and it's everything that I've ever wanted. So we'll make the next one lighter, but thank you for joining me on this ride. I am Lauren LaRoe. This has been Lauren's Dreamhouse. I love you very much. Good night.